everyone! Back to the Shattered Isles. I'm Cassie.
I'm Max.
And there's John.
Hey.
He plays Kodrog. And there's Paige.
Hi!
And she plays Thomas.
A wizard.
A wizard.
You're a wizard, Thomas.
I'm a wizard!
You're a dwarf, Kodrog.
It's true.
Is that what we're gonna do? We're gonna pun Harry Potter all night.
I don't know what we're doing.
I mean, we.
This is like the most awkward start, I feel.
It's like the home stretch, but we tripped. Pretty.
Yeah.
I need that on a t-shirt or something.
It's okay. We are doing a dungeon crawl. Classic.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yep. If you're playing the home version, it is In Search of the Unknown.
Yep.
The only thing that is the same are the room numbers, because the contents have all been changed for the most part.
And the names.
The names.
And the monograms.
the monograms.
Those are all part of this module.
The monsters. Oh, yeah, those things have been kept the same.
Mm-hmm.
Monsters are completely different. The arrangement of the rooms are completely different. What's actually in the room, purpose, function. Yeah. Last we left off, our group consisting of Kodrog, Thomas, Naresh.
Naresh.
Naresh?
Yes.
Naresh.
Next year we'll get that right.
And Arya had wandered back and been wandering through looking for clues, evidence. They had found some ghoulish creatures that attacked them, and the only fatality to it was Kodrog having a little bit of a lisp for about a minute. They wandered around and began finding valuable and important things. Oh, we're doing that? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys are the GMs.
Well, it's also cold here. It's like 60-something.
Oh, shove it up your butts.
And so they wandered through this fortress to find where they had gone through a barracks. They were looking around, and they found a hallway, a T-junction hallway. So they're looking down one hallway to a door, and then the hallway kind of veers off to the right-hand side, and there's a lot of light. Just light was coming out of it, and it was like a yellowish green light. And we left with them going
Up to the door.
up to the door. And so we pick back up at that moment in time, and the door is a simple door. It's not very fancy. It looks like it was more function than anything, and it's just shut. The green and yellowish light does come through the split in the boards above and below. There does not seem to be a complicated lock for the door or anything. It's just there, and the light definitely illuminates all of the hallway. There's a bit of...
Let them do what they want to do.
I was not finished with my description.
Okay.
But I mean, if you don't want them to have important information,
They
that's fine.
no, they don't need important information.
No, please continue.
Okay. There's a bit of an
I'm not. I was to say I'm not gonna beg like Kodrog, but I'd appreciate the extra information.
There's a bit of an acrid smell and a lot of noise. One that's very definitive, like a humming noise, like I would describe like what we would understand to be like a generator of some type, and like muffled talking or clanking. It's interposed, intermingled with each other. The talking, which is hard to understand because of the loud hum. And that's
So,
it.
on the other side of the door is bright light and noises that sound like conversation.
And a hum.
And a hum.
Really loud hum.
Oh.
No, more like
Are you sure it's not like?
Yeah, I would go more with like that.
Sorry, mine was like a thinking noise, not a...
Ooh.
Yeah.
Was it like a yummy sound? Like a
It's constant,
Okay.
unchanging.
Okay. Does it look different from other doors that we've come up to?
No.
No.
No, okay.
What door? Where was this door again? Was it placed off of like?
So
It's
you
that
off the
pool
side
table
of
area?
of the barracks.
you'd
Okay.
gone to the other side of the barracks, and you were looking for maybe like another room, like where a captain or an officer had been at, you open this door, and then there's a door across the way, but there's also this side hallway where the boatload of light was coming out. And when you looked around the corner, now you're looking at this door and everything.
All right. Well, given that this is the only, well, not the only signs of life that we've come across, but sounds significantly different from the last ones.
Yeah.
Well, should we just be ready to shoot stuff as soon as we open the door?
Nerys will give a nod and prep his axes. Arya will... She's got that bow, right?
Yeah, she's got that bow.
So she's going to pull out her bow.
Yeah, that she doesn't know how to use.
Yep, doesn't matter.
Okay.
She can still do like this.
I asked if she never used one before. Okay.
Thomas will magically check the door before we go in.
All right. It takes just a moment or two to start the whole perceiving magic, and as soon as you click on that extra sensory that you have, it's like being in a super, super, super hot room.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Then it's like the heat is coming out of the room is pretty intense.
Okay. Thomas will just say, well, be careful. There's something really warm behind this door, I feel.
Okay. I'll reach out and like touch the door and see if the door itself is warm.
No, it's not.
So it's not a fire.
Magically, that's a description.
Yeah.
Ah. Okay. Can I do a stealth roll to open the door quietly? Or
Yes, you can.
oh, I'm gonna use my new magic mug to summon ale to pour on the hinges before I open it
Ooh.
to lubricate them to make sure there's no squeaking.
Okay, so you do that. Liquid pools at the bottom of the door and underneath it, going into the room.
Well, I'm not like dumping I'm like trickling it onto the
You
hinges.
did not describe it that way.
Okay.
I just imagine, like, just pour it a little bit more.
One for my homies.
One for your homies.
Well, yeah, but that wouldn't like cause like a pool to run under the door. But okay.
I think you should get a bonus, right? What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it works. I'm not saying like it's a whole puddle, just like the
Oh,
cubes
okay.
of liquid that fall into the cracks that just kind of go under the door.
It's a 7. Where's stealth? There it is. My regular number is a 10, so I got a 7 on a 10.
Cool. Yeah, it's at least by 3, maybe 4 with the
Yeah.
bonus.
Mm-hmm.
So, when you push open the door, I assume you push it open enough so you can look through. And,
Yeah.
And if somebody taller than you, like a human wizard, was standing behind you, they could see over you.
He's
Or
not
anyone
directly
in
behind Kodrog.
There's in the center of this room, there's a pedestal with a bunch of doodads on it. Above the pedestal, and some metal-looking pedestal, or something along those lines, there is a greenish cube that is rotating on a point, on one of the cube points in the center of this pedestal. Inside the center of this greenish cube seems to be a man in armor. He's decorated. Surrounding the cube is some sort of orbiting ring with markings on it. At the base of the pedestal, there are 2 men with crossbows next to them, 2 humans. Crossbows next to them, daggers in hand, and they're prying at the little doodads on the pedestal. And their eyesight goes from what they're picking at to up at the green glowing cube above them.
Which has a person inside it, right?
Which has a person inside of it, yes.
Okay. Is this a person-sized cube, or is it like a small cube with a miniature person in it?
It's a person-sized cube.
Okay.
Yep. With a
My
person-sized
prized
person.
miniature.
Okay. Yeah. Oh man.
So these guys are under the edge of the cube.
Okay, so I'm gonna turn around and whisper to the group. I only see two. It looks like they're vandalizing. We should sneak around either side of them and surprise them.
It sounds like a good idea. I'm sure they're hostile no matter what. So, what side do you want?
I'll take Narish around the port side, the port flank.
Excellent.
Thomas just goes, great. I'm not that good at being quiet.
It's okay. You can surprise them from the doorway.
Okay, good. I'll stay here then. I literally have nothing in my stealth skill. I'm a very loud wizard.
So John already...
Clicky clacky boots. Clicky clacky
Kojak
boots.
already rolled his stealth and he did alright. Unless you need him to roll again.
No,
for
by
walking.
4. Yeah.
Narish is okay.
No. Okay. I'll do
It's okay.
Arya. Arya's good. Hers is by 3, and his was by 1, so that's quiet. Now,
The glow from the light above them has kind of washed over them enough where they don't really see what's outside of it. It's kind of like they're stuck in a glowy, greenish yellow spotlight.
and they're also pulling these pieces of metal off and making a pile of them nearby.
Mm-hmm.
The little things that they're popping off seem to be like, I would describe them as gold buttons or symbols of some type. They're basically defacing it, like you said.
Okay.
You know, stealing some bits. The gold bits.
So there's the main pedestal that has the person in the cube.
Mm-hmm.
Are there like any smaller columns or anything around that we can hide behind, or is it just kind of we'll circle the wall and then pop out of the shadows?
It's more along the lines of the second one.
Okay.
There's not a whole lot to hide behind. This looks like it's a holding cell of some kind, so having places to hide might not be a great idea if you're putting somebody in there to
Hold them.
hold them.
True.
It's mostly
I have a
just the
question.
statue in the middle and then, the outer walls, but it is very shadowy outside of this glowing area. So there should be plenty of opportunity to sneak.
Question.
Yes.
Is this a full plate armor where it's like a helmet that covers the face?
No.
Do I recognize the face as one of the two guys from the vision that I saw? Or the painting?
It's too murky through the gelatinous looking green stuff, the energy-like stuff, to actually make out definitives. But for the most part, it definitely looks like the dude.
Okay.
The dude,
Rogan?
And he's in armor, not full plate.
The dude,
Okay.
not the mage.
Not the dude.
And,
not the
Not the mage.
And
Dude, not the
the casing that he's in, I mean, from here I can't really tell. Is it magical in any way? Does it look gelatinous?
No, it definitely looks like magic. You're
Okay.
still peering into the magical focus with your sight. It is so bright in here. It
Yeah.
is so you're squinting oh man.
I would imagine you can barely see the actual forms of the people. They're like shadowy outlines in a sea
Yeah.
of glowy, crazy pants.
Yeah, so this is Kodrog. Are you ready to move in? Thomas is like, yeah,
I'm good.
I think I'm
Yeah, I'm
gonna stay
good.
back here. And stay at the door.
And just imagine whenever he gets back out of his magical realm, he's just like, yeah, I'm good, let's go.
There's little spots everywhere.
Pupils will
Yeah.
be dilated for hours.
All right. So once we sneak in a little bit, to get like a little half moon, around them. I'll look over at Thomas to make sure he's ready. And if I'll give a nod. Excellent. All right. So I'll draw my bow.
I'll bring a
And-
spell.
Halt. I'll call out.
All right, I'm going to roll to see if they heard you prior to getting in position. Oh dear God, no. Yeah, nope. They are all up in the. Oh, this one's going to be worth something. Oh, look at that one! Pop, pop, pop! As they're popping them off. So you call out.
Yep. Halt, vandals.
And then they freeze and they look up to see if it was the person in the cage yelling at them.
We have you surrounded.
And then they turn to the sound of the direction, and you can see them squinting, and they have like their grip on their daggers, and one of them is reaching for their crossbow.
Yeah, it's like fast too. They drop, grab for the crossbow. Now we're going to do a round of surprise. You guys have the initiative on this round. Next, and you get only 2 actions on this surprise round. And then next round we will go into normal combat rounds. So, who wants to go first? It's either the person with the highest combat or somebody goes, hey, let me do it, because I've got a lightning bolt. He'll solve everything. You know, it's up to you guys.
I don't know, Thomas, do you have a lightning bolt that's going to solve everything?
I mean, I have magic that will do damage.
Um,
The thing
I'll-
is, like, if I do fireball, we're dead. But
Yeah.
like, I have a thing that can weave through enemies and do 2d6 points of damage, leaving fire trail behind it.
yeah.
So
So maybe I'll go first.
Okay.
yeah. You just see Thomas flipping through his spellbook, even though he said he was ready. He's like, "Oh wait, no, I gotta change this."
I see like lightning bolts and fireballs in your eyes. So I'm like, oh, I better go before he does.
Yeah, I usually work around you to not kill you, so might be best to go first.
So I am going to target the crossbow and try and get an arrow lodged in it so that it's not functional.
Okay, that's going to be a really hard roll because you have to either hit the string or pin the bolt or the trigger.
Oh.
It's possibly be done, but I'll give you a penalty of 4. And you'd be an expert marksman if you pull it off too, right? You Robin Hood the arrow in the round that's loaded.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's give it a try.
All right.
Go up and kick it.
That's
I mean, it's
not as
either-
exciting.
It's either
Right.
that or I have to shoot him.
Can
And
you
maybe
imagine
we
kicking a crossbow out of somebody's hands right when they're like gonna? Oh man, that would be pretty badass.
That'd be like Charlie's Angels shit.
I'm gonna save that for a game where I'm playing. I'm gonna roundhouse kick a crossbow out of somebody. Just don't steal it, John.
Oh man.
Oh,
So,
dude.
I got a 7 on my regular numbers of 14.
Whoa.
What?
But if my penalty is 4, then that's only a 10. So it's a 7 out of 10.
That still means you succeed and like describe it.
Yeah.
So as I see them lunging down to retrieve their crossbow, I loose an arrow, and it cuts the crossbow's string and sticks into the stock.
Nice.
Ah.
All right. What do you think Arya should do?
Oh,
Fire.
fireball? No,
No, fire her bow.
fire
She could
bow.
do that.
Yeah, she's gonna try to fire a bow. She's
Awesome.
gonna try to do something just as cool as what Kodrog did.
Sure. She will shoot the other one in the hand.
Yeah.
No. Nope.
Nope. It hits the statue.
It goes into like the energy field thing.
Yep.
Oh gosh.
All right. Thomas?
Yes. I would like to cast a spell. How many guys are there?
Well, there are 2. One just lost his crossbow, technically.
All right, I'm gonna cast. Copy. I'm gonna cast Phobia Gaze, but I'm gonna pour some mana into it, so it will affect both of them, hopefully,
Okay.
if that's possible.
Yeah, I don't see why not. I'll make the difficulty go up.
Yeah, Phobia Gaze. Caster stares at their victim, providing an illusion of that victim's. Oh God, why did I write this so terribly? Causing them to have their greatest fear come to real life, and they freeze in fear.
Oh, right. So it's a fear spell. You're pumping some more mana into it. Go ahead and make your roll.
Cool. That is diabolic. All right,
Yes.
come here.
So I'm gonna, because you're trying to hit 2 people, I'm gonna give you a penalty of 2 to your skill.
Okay.
I mean, you're really proficient in the magic, so that's why I'm like not really worried about it. So
Not diabolic. Dibby. I have 3, 5, and then you said -2, so I got 4 out of 5, or 5 out of 4, because you made me -2 to my skill.
Okay, great. So you'll get 1 of them.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. So left or right?
Left.
Okay, that's the one that lost his crossbow.
Okay.
Go ahead. All right.
Yeah.
Do you want to? You want to describe what he does?
You should do. You should
Okay.
do. I'll add it. I'll add
Okay.
in some stuff, but you
All
start.
right. All right.
Well, you just
The
say.
Croatech's turn.
All right. Let's just say he wasn't wearing his brown pants.
That's pretty much where I'm going to go to in their turns. Croatech's turn. He's kind of standing back watching as he's seen everything taking place, and one guy is still going for his crossbow. He's going to grab the guy and throw him into the wall.
Oh yeah.
Just like grapple hurdle. So he's going to move forward, grab him, and throw him. All one fell swoop. Oh, that would be a no.
Okay. I don't know why you're letting me roll for that.
I don't know, because
like,
it's-
these dice always roll high.
It's fine. That's fine. So he steps up next to the guy, tries to grab a hold of him, but the guy is going to move back with his crossbow. He was going for the guy to the right.
Okay.
All right. Now we're going to do initiatives.
Initiative. Shit. I always lose initiative. I always say that I was gonna like fix up this page, this sheet and everything like that, and then I ended up not doing that. Initiative.
It's reaction, right?
Yes.
Yeah, 1d6. But it's 1d6 plus my reaction, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright, so I have 6.
Okay.
I got 9.
Okay. What did Arya get? She goes on 10. And Narish goes on 7. And the bandits go on 4. Alright, so I'll tell you guys what they're doing. One bandit dove for his crossbow. It gets hit at the same time. He just begins pedaling back toward the pedestal, and he's like hunkering down next to the pedestal, dragging himself across the floor. His pants become soiled. He's screaming out loud, and whatever it is, he's holding one hand out and like in a claw fashion, screaming toward Kodrog, and then clawing across the floor. So whatever it is, Kodrog, you shoot the crossbow.
You are
the
so
magic-
scary.
Scary.
You're
as
so
all.
scary.
This guy crapped himself.
I mean, it was a great shot, but
It
wow.
was.
Meanwhile, Thomas is just giving him the death glare. Like-
All right, Arya gets the chance to shoot again or do something. Let's see. Nothing fancy. She's just
No.
gonna fire the bow again.
Oh, not terrible.
Not terrible, is it? That's a 7. There we go. Okay, she hits. Okay. It's just a short bow.
Not terrible.
It's not terrible. Short bow.
It's short
So
bow
it's
that she doesn't really know how to use good.
4 dice.
So, oh wow, 4 dicey for.
Yeah, just a 1. Like the arrow nicks him. Pretty much. It's nice.
And she cheers for herself.
Yeah. Like
That she hit them.
when it flies through your point of view, it's a decent shot because she fired into combat. Narish is right there, She shoots into combat. Mrs. Narish hits him. It's like a grazing blow, and she's like, "Yeah." But John, what you saw was this arrow like wobble through your point of view. All right. Yeah, I don't see her doing anything else. She'll save her action just in case. And now it's Kodrog's turn.
All right, I will.
What?
Yes.
Yes.
I thought you were asking me.
Well, I mean, if you have any other thoughts for
Oh
her.
no.
Okay.
So I will knock another arrow and aim over towards the second guy who's not pooping his pants, and say, "You and your friend don't have to die here, but you do have to leave."
Okay.
Diplomacy or intimidate?
Doesn't matter. They have yet to speak Dwarven, these two individuals. John is talking to them in Dwarven.
Well, that's like the most common language.
These guys aren't from around the normal space.
They're not from the Shattered Isles.
They are, but they don't know Dwarven.
They're elves. Are they?
Anyway.
I mean,
We're
do they look? I mean, obviously we can roll for this or whatever. Do they look like they're from someplace? Like, would Thomas recognize them and be like, "Oh yeah, their facial structure is very like Marseillan"?
Nope. John, you can roll, but it falls upon deaf ears. The guy continues to backpedal away from the crow attack, bringing his crossbow up. And so you use one of your actions to load, the other action to call for him to stand down. So, right? You're holding pointing your crossbow at him, telling him to kill him.
well, no, it's not a crossbow. It's just a bow. So is loading a full action?
No, I thought you were loading a crossbow.
Oh, okay.
That's why it would be a full action.
Okay. Yep, it was just a bow, short bow. Well, if he doesn't look like he's not gonna do anything, I'll just shoot him.
Okay. Roll the hit.
They didn't even make like a. The thing is, if someone's speaking to you and your friend's freaking out, right? And someone directly says something to you, and you don't understand, would their reaction be like, like...
If I was in that situation with my 21st century perception, yes. But this is a different time.
They're seeing 4 people
who are armed.
And are pointing those armaments at them.
They
and
are
shooting
broken
them.
into someone's house. They're stealing someone else's stuff. They know what they've done, and now they've been caught.
And they never understood a word that I said from the beginning, so...
And they're not giving... Alright, these guys deserve death. They're not like responding to like a call of being like, "Oh, I don't understand that." And 2, they're not being like, "Oh shit, we should probably surrender."
But that's just it. That's not an option that people take to surrender. Surrender is not something... I mean, I understand surrendering. I'm sure you do too. But these guys, it's not that they're hardened warriors. The criminals. Surrender means going to jail, getting hung, and dying anyways.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
16 on a 14.
Well, it's not a critical failure where you shoot your ally. That's a plus.
Somehow you shoot Thomas even though he's behind you.
Yeah. I also glance off this fellow. He's like the Teflon man.
Oh my goodness. All right, Narish.
He's probably gonna just do an unarmed knockout punch thing.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm assuming.
Yes.
Because he heard.
He's going to use his power martial arts and just...
Because he heard Kodrog, and so it's like, oh, okay.
We're not killing them. Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, since he was calling for a knockout, and that's at least 5 under, I'm totally cool with the knockout.
Excellent. So
The guy gets a toughness
he's
check.
got a glass jaw.
No. So yeah, Narish will just definitely come across with a nice little haymaker to this guy's face because they're on the ground.
Maybe just a headbutt. Because he's got axes in his hands. So
yeah, exactly.
That looks pleasing to my head,
guy
so
crumbles
please
to
make
the
that
ground.
happen.
So Narish will turn around with a bit of blood on his forehead. Haha!
Good
Oh,
work.
Narish.
Thomas,
Yes.
that one seems to have been knocked out by a blow. I'm going to determine how long real quick. Okay. And your fear spell seems to be still imposing upon the other one. It's your action. Do you want to make any other combat-related actions, or can we slide out of combat?
We can set out of combat. I think, is there a way to, like, put one more mana into this spell just to make this guy pass out from fear?
Sure. Yeah.
Sweet. I'll do that, and then we can get out of turn order.
All right. He
Paralyzed,
screams,
unconscious.
and he screams in whatever common human tongue that he's screaming at you in, and then passes just
Well, it gets like a higher pitched and higher and strangled scream of until
like he's even
like
holding onto his throat, like he's whatever he's envisioning.
it's terrifying.
Thomas doesn't even. He just walks up and he goes, "Drugs, don't take them." Like,
All right.
Oh no, never.
no. Never, Kodrug. You're such a good boy.
So you have two passed out humans, or unconscious humans. Let's
Bandits, vandals.
I say,
vandals.
Yeah.
I say, wow, we're giving a lot of like protection to these people. I say let's drag them out just in case if we do get into combat, and then they won't be in that room.
Drag them out and put them by the door so you can pick them up on your way out.
Yeah. No, just like, I don't know, put them on the pool table or something. Just so they're out of, like, if we do get into combat in this area, I don't want two random casualties just because they were in the wrong place at the wrong time type of thing.
Oh, that's good of you.
I do like just outside the door though.
Okay, so right
convenient.
outside the door would be the door to this room, or back toward the barracks, or all the way back to the rec room.
No, just this room.
Okay.
All right.
Seems like a lot. Yeah.
Are you gonna bind them in any way?
No, I don't think that they're a threat. I think that once they come to and realize we've left them alive, maybe they'll leave us alone.
The thing is, we have all our stuff by the door.
Not this door. That's
Not
the door
this door,
back
other
some.
door.
No, but like them leaving.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good point, Thomas. Let's time up.
Right. They are now.
And then the one remaining ghoul finds them tied up.
That's fine. Hey, we tried helping them.
Right?
You guys come out and there's a pair of legs that are tied together.
Nice.
Just the last.
Um,
But
All that work trying to save them, and we still fucked up.
so
We didn't ask them to come
the
here.
bodies are.
That's
I mean,
true.
the people are moved out of the room,
Yep.
and there is still this glowing cube with a person-shaped person in it.
Yeah. I'm gonna look to my trusty wizard friend, Master Thomas. What do you make of all this?
Well, the magic in here is blinding. But I'm sure that pedestal has to do with something. I could attempt to dispel this, but it would take maybe an hour. This is powerful, and like I said, it's blinding.
Narish scoops up the pieces of metal that they were collecting and then hands them to you. Here you go. These will help.
I look them over.
Actually, they're pieces of metal with Elven script ruins on them.
Oh my god, I can read those!
Yes.
I can read Elven!
Yeah.
Sweet, what do they say?
They are things that seem to be components as part of this entrapment spell. They're just like runic plates designed for the purpose of aiding the spell's function and making sure it lasts for a long time. So this, yeah, that's what I got.
So, they're not like buttons to like unlock or move down.
They're part of the spell, and now that they've been pulled off, they probably don't function as well. The spell might have,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh,
Might
maybe we have
be
to.
another way.
We might just have to put them back on in the right order, and hope.
Do they
Magic
all
works
have? Yeah, I was gonna say, do they all have the same like backing to them, or are they like different shaped?
All the same backing.
Yep.
They basically like this really tight pin clip that they were taking a dagger and prying it up. So it's just going to take a little effort to put them back in the right place, or on the clips.
And each rune has its own little like doodad at what it does.
Yes.
May I ask what those are?
Like at least 3 of them involved from beginning to end of the entrapment spell. Another one involved the construction of the actual cell that you're seeing, and the last one, of course, are the protective magics in case someone tries to disable the trap.
All right. Well, I want to disable that immediately.
Okay.
And then I'll move to the entrapment itself, and
Okay.
then the container.
All right.
So work backwards.
You looking down toward the pedestal and not looking up as you begin looking into the magic, you can see that the protective magics are tied to 2 things. Deactivating the protective magics will shut the cube down, but will activate like a type of defense. And for whatever reason, the damage that's been done, the course that you take, you can either shut the magics down, and one of 2 of the possible traps will go off. One
Okay.
trap will generate a magical vortex in this room that could probably be pretty bad by the way that the spell looks. The other
Yeah.
one just summons something called a Gorgon.
I know monsters.
You do.
Can I roll?
You can.
I don't want to metagame because I know Gorgons. I
That's
know what they
fine.
do.
That's perfectly fine.
I didn't want to be like, oh, I know that, and have Thomas just magically know that. So, monsters. 3 ones, baby. Eat it.
Wow.
3 out of 13.
Do you want to do a description?
Well, when you say Gorgons, are we talking about the Gorgons that are in Heroes of Might and Magic? Or are we talking about the Gorgons that are like the Medusa? Or are we talking about something else? Because there's Gorgon is like used in a few different ways and you didn't tell me that part.
Fair enough, fair enough. A Gorgon is a magical term used to describe something that turns other things into stone.
Yep.
No?
So, it's a possibility of things. The first thing can be a giant...
The giant, like armored bull cow thing
Yep.
The second thing
That's
could be...
with iridescent stones. And
iridescent stones, yep.
And then the other one is the Gorgon, the one with the Medusa head
The
stuff.
a humanoid snake-like woman
Yep.
with snake hair,
Tentacle hair.
that fires a bow.
Yep.
And of course, the last one is similar to a cockatrice. Imagine something the size of an ostrich that is all scaly and breathes gas that can turn things into stone. So that's like the Gorgon family, like the majority of them. Unfortunately, this spell seems to have all 3 of them like chalked and loaded for a random selection of one of them. So when you hit the deactivate, and if you follow the route of the summoning, you're not sure which one of those 3 you're going to get. Because somebody pulled off all the buttons and damaged the spell. Putting the buttons back will not fix the damage to the spells.
Yeah.
You need the original caster.
No, yeah, it'll help. It'll just help and analyze what the hell the spells are. Is there any way I can dispel these spells?
When you cast your first dispel to turn off the protective measures, it's going to do one of the other 2 things. And
Okay.
You can't cast 2 spells at the same time.
No, yeah, I got you. Especially dispel, that's concentration.
So, do you want to have some sort of uncertain
Maelstrom of
magic, or one of 3 Gorgons? Hopefully,
Do
just
I
one.
know from looking around the room and squinting and trying to see past all the shit? Is there any way I can find, like, where, I don't know, portals will open up for the Gorgons to come out of, or, like, where the vortex is going to...
Yeah, you see the nexus point at which the spell is going to put it on. Right now, Kodrog's standing on it.
Thomas just kind of gives
Kodrog,
Kodrog, like, a...
Yeah,
like
Thomas
a
is squinting at you now. And
yeah, he's like, move.
Oh, yeah, okay.
God, the headphones.
Sure.
And,
I'll take a step to the left.
Yeah. List
thank
lazily
you,
this way.
Texas Poet.
yeah.
Welcome.
Thomas will, he'll analyze that. How big is that area?
Where it summons into?
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, like it doesn't really have like a boundary necessarily.
And it doesn't, like, identify it. It's a
Yeah.
point in magical space-time continuum
Yeah.
that it says here. And then, of course,
Would I...
you'll have, like, the nanoseconds after it trips to know how big the space is going to get. So you could scream out what it is.
But I mean, you have a
Yeah.
general idea of how big each Gorgon thing is in general. So as long as
Yeah.
they didn't also have some sort of enlarge spell attached to them, then then the estimation is really, you know, how big they are.
Now, is this, like, point where they're summoned? That has to be, like, magical in itself, right? Could I possibly destroy it and or, like, break the stone and not have that be summoned and just have a malfunction of that spell?
That would be attacking that trap spell, which will set off the other trap spell, which is the Maelstrom.
Okay.
So you turn off the spell's damage. You turn off the spell, the guy gets free, and you can either direct it to summon something, or you can direct it to do the Maelstrom. If you try to take out the trap, the guy doesn't get free, and it does the Maelstrom anyways.
How big is this vortex spell?
The vortex spell is just, it describes it as a Maelstrom. I would think it's big enough to encompass this room. Maybe even larger, but without hitting that go button, you wouldn't know.
Oh, so I actually have to physically touch it.
Yeah, you have to really just,
Okay.
not physically, magically touch it. It's a magical touching thing.
In this world, is there a way to, say, leave the room and then envision that room and trigger that?
No, that's...
Okay.
Yeah, there might be, but not something you've studied.
Okay.
So while Thomas is trying to figure out the magic part of this, I'm gonna have Narisha and Arya help me physically search the room to see if there are any like physical traps that if a creature is summoned, we can turn the traps against the physical creature.
Well, this is...
Like I don't know if there's like arrows that shoot out of the wall or anything.
There are
towards the center
manacles
of
on the
the
wall for,
creatures.
you know, holding prisoners.
Oh, okay.
There's
Lovely.
That. That's the first thing. What about you?
Well, in the training room, there were like pikes and other sharp, pointy objects. So if you don't find a trap in here, perhaps you can rig one.
Ooh, and way back in the front training, the training room like she's talking about, there was an arbalist for practicing firing an arbalist. Do you know what that is?
A giant
Oh, yeah, the-
crossbow.
Big ballista.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's between a ballista and a crossbow, and so I mean, there's that. But you have to go back and get it, and hopefully you don't run across anything.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have any trap making skills, so
You can go
I
back
doubt
to the
that's
barracks
gonna...
and get a pike or two. Pikes are good for keeping things at a distance.
Yeah.
And that arbalist might come in handy for like a one-shot deal. You know, before it really, before if the summoning is what happens, then there might be a split second where you can fire it before
True.
it moves.
Yeah.
Well, Thomas has an idea too. That actually helps.
Cool. What's up?
Well, Thomas will explain what's going on. He'll explain it trying to be simple, basically, not like he'll start explaining it like magically, and then he'll realize that the three of them probably don't understand. So he's like, "All right, I think of this as a doorway. a monster called a Gorgon will come in. Gorgons usually put their enemies into stone either by sight or breathing or eye lasers, whatever. The other one is a vortex. So anything in this room will be sucked into it. And I'm sure this crystal guy above us won't be. But my idea is to either activate the Gorgon, depending on what it is. I do have spells that can hold it in place for a while. And I also have spells that can try suffocating the air out of it. And since you just pointed out that thing, if we lined it up to at least a height of some nature, medium height, either chest or face height, we should be able to hold the Gorgon in place and have our arbalist, giant crossbow thing, shoot at it, and hopefully that can kill it in one go. But if not, try avoiding eye contact at least. I'll try shouting out what kind of Gorgon it is once I see it. But that's the best bet, other than the Vortex. The Vortex is... I don't know how long it will last, and I'm running out of mana. I'm tired. So I don't think I would be able to hold up a orb for us.
Okay, so yeah, that sounds like a plan. So we'll go get a couple of pikes,
Okay.
the arbalist, and plan an ambush.
All right.
For a Gorgon friend. Oh.
I can't read your
I
writing.
apologize. You can't read my writing. We're doing secret DM notes.
Can you read right? Sorry, I just
Super secret DM notes.
it is so
In
secret.
my super secret language.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Almost done. All right.
So, I was gonna say, so John, how are you? But
All right. Who is going back for the arbalist and the pikes?
Me and Narish.
All right. Ooh, Arya and Thomas are low.
Well, I think that it's been enough discussions where Arya is quite certain that Thomas is not interested, and that's okay.
It happens.
I just imagine more of like, and then her sliding up and being like, fear is a great arousal, and him being like, alright. Like I'm trying to fucking focus on this goddamn Gorgon teleporter thing, and
Can you not see that I'm trying to do something here?
I'm sorry, I'm being magical for a moment.
It's alright, Arya's trying to do something there too.
Yeah, I'll do something magical.
Zing.
All right. So, you guys move back through the halls.
All of your stuff that you've piled outside of doors is still there.
No changes to the carpet or signs of anything else moving around because it doesn't use the floors. Oh, and it's elsewhere, so that's
Yeah.
good.
It had a big snack.
Huge snack. Halfway
Yeah, we
size
gift wrapped
snack.
it for them.
Yep.
Probably went back to the other dead bodies that were in there too, smorgasbord.
Yep. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that would be great. You guys get back to that door. You're about to step in. You notice the body of the failing gone.
Yeah.
Good.
Did you know that you're not alone?
Yeah, that's okay, we're just gonna hurry.
All right. How many shots from the arbalist do you get? You can get it.
3.
Great.
Wait. How many were you gonna say I could have?
Take the number 8 and tilt it on its side. How many of those can you carry?
Infinity.
You can get as many as you want. This is an armory. That's what the point is.
Yeah.
You'd have more than one arbalist too. Probably about 3 in total. That doesn't mean Arya can fire it, by the way. So without hitting you somehow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll take 3.
Okay.
So say I don't want to be shot with an arbalist. No, thank you.
I mean, if we have time to shoot 3 rounds with this arbalist, this battle is going on too long, and we're probably all dead. So.
No, I was talking about. Okay, so you're getting 3 rounds and 1 arbalist.
Oh yeah, because these things are huge, aren't they?
Yeah,
They're
You hold them like this, and then you have a winch that you do like this.
they're usually a 2-man team.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
so we'll carry 1 back with
Cool.
3 rounds.
Sounds
And
great.
I think Narish would probably carry back some pikes and spikes and things
Heck yeah.
to kind of set up a perimeter around where the things might show up.
Oh
Yeah.
man, are there any caltrops we can grab?
No.
Throw them down in the summon area? No. Okay.
No.
Sadness.
I was just gonna an error on the pedestal that just says like something's in the way, and like god damn it, you're gonna flick a pebble out of the way.
404 error, summoning error. Please clear the summoning error
Yeah.
area.
I just did. Like.
All right. So I also think you guys would grab barrels if you were talking about barricades and putting stuff between you and the incoming subject. So that'd be a good
Oh, yeah.
idea. So you guys are coming back, putting some barrels up, like between where the arbalist is going to be positioned, the door where Thomas is hanging out, and where the creature is going to be summoned at, stuff like that. So you got a little barricade going. You got the arbalist a distance back from this barricade, right up on the barricade.
Right up on the barricade.
Okay, so you're there on the barricade with the arbalist, and Narish has got the wench in one hand, hanging in the proper manner, and the arrow in the other hand.
I think that it would be loaded
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the wench gets pulled off.
Yeah.
As after you've loaded it, you don't keep that on there.
Yeah. So it's loaded
Yeah.
and ready to go as
Yep.
soon as something shows up.
You know, I
Alright.
bet it's the breath gorgon. It's gotta be.
Well, the
Thomas says from the corner.
bull thing breathes on you, and so does the big chicken thing, the ostrich-like thing. They both breathe on you, but it's
Well,
the one,
I'm also
the
like,
snake woman thing that looks at you.
I'd rather
as
have
long
a
as
snake
it's no
woman.
laser eyes. I can't handle laser eyes.
well, I don't know if that's. I know that's Castlevania lore. I don't know if it's actual genuine lore. But that is like a gorgon thing. They do have laser eyes, but as Paige's brain, because she's just thinking of things and what it could be. And I'm going through the thing of being like, are Max and Cassie the types of GMs that like go classic and go with like classic Gorgon? Or do they go like, no, let's have them breathe on them because that's more difficult. And then I had to go like aesthetic, difficulty. I mean, I guess Snake Woman could be difficulty. So like
It's gonna be the snake one, but all the little snake heads are what breathe on you.
yeah. Oh man.
Watch it be a
Boy.
cute little baby. Oh, I know what you're thinking.
I've always wanted. There's a. I was talking with. I don't want to say too much, just in case if we actually do end up playing this in the future.
I like that.
But there's a campaign that I was talking with a group of friends about, and apparently you play as like teenage monsters in a high school and you fight like evil. And I want to do that so badly, and I was like, oh dude, I just want to play like teenage Medusa that's just like struggling to find a boyfriend that doesn't turn into stone. Like, but
So, you all have done your best to prepare for a summoning. Hopefully,
Yes.
Let's see.
hopefully you don't make a mistake and summon and do the maelstrom instead on accident.
Yeah.
no, I think Thomas is confident to know which one it is.
Okay.
So,
I do have a question.
Mhm.
Sorry, John, go.
No, you first, and then I'll finish.
It's my turn.
We're pretty safe here, right? Like, if we close the door behind us, this room is pretty safe.
The doors.
By the way the walls look, it seems like pretty solid stone all the way around you. So yes, these walls are pretty solid.
The door's not though. The door is
That's okay.
not,
I just
not a solid.
Yeah, it's not very solid. It couldn't even hold Rose up.
okay. The thing
It
is
would've
like
sunk.
Thomas is working on 3 points of mana left, and I'm going to be pouring at least 2 into either suffocating this thing or holding it in place.
The good news is dispelling this doesn't take any mana. You're just flipping a switch in the magical world.
That's not the point. Once I'm out of magic, I'm fucked. I can't attack or do anything.
You've got a sword.
And blood.
It's okay, Thomas. We'll have it down in 2 rounds.
Arya's like,
I hope so.
barrier, check. Big crossbow, check. Thomas, you ready? She's got a little checklist out.
Yeah.
Check.
I'll
Good
call
job.
out what.
What?
I'll call out what it is. But for the most part, don't look at it directly.
All right.
That's right. I'll direct everybody to look down at its feet. Because
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Arya-
sure its toes aren't going to put us in stone.
Arya
Well, it
gets
has
ready.
eyeballs.
She grabs her bow. She pulls her bow like this and then starts like getting in position. Not only is her stance scarier than hell, but you know she's got her eyes closed. And she's pointing at Thomas right now with her eyes closed and the bow ready.
Thomas is like, Jesus, oh God, make her like.
No, don't
like,
close
and he just
your
looks at
eyes.
Kodrag and he goes,
Just look at the
Kodrag,
ground.
please give her direction. Like,
Open your eyes. Look at the ground. Open your eyes. Look at the ground. Don't shoot your friend.
All right.
I just want to draw that. I want to draw like a cat person that's like crouching, has her bow up in the air, and like the string's going this way, and her eyes are shut
it's
tight.
Like, it's like somebody holding their gun sideways. It's the equivalent of that. Over there. All right, John.
Alright.
Did you have any other thing you were gonna say?
No, that was it. Just look at the ground, not their eyes.
Got it.
Yep. Don't look in their eyes. And don't breathe their air either, apparently.
Yeah, if you get close to them, just don't. Like I said,
Just
Thomas will call them out. Don't breathe.
get close till they're dead.
I think I'm going to go with suffocation. Just in case if it is a breathing thing, they won't be able to, you know.
Okay. Won't be able to huff and puff and turn you all to stone by taking the air away from them.
That's right.
All right. You
All right.
ready to do this?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thomas moves. You get the farthest distance back you need to be, and it happens to be about a meter away from that giant orbiting metal band. You looking down and trying to avoid the light. You open the magical your perception into the magical world and begin manipulating the spell and getting ready. As you get closer and begin rearranging things and the spell's reacting like it's supposed to, air quotes, you watch things on the inside spark and fry as you're moving stuff around because the spell's fucked up because people in here
Yeah.
stabbing and taking things off. Anyways, as you're watching this calamity that no one else can see, you're getting close and you flip the switch to turn it off. As you do so, in the real world, the green cube begins to dissolve slowly. It begins shutting off. There's a cascade of magical runes and electricity shoot across the floor, run up to the ceiling, zip around for a moment, and in the area Thomas had directed, a massive green-yellow bolt of lightning rains down and begins shaping something in instantaneous, you see.
You see what looks to be an iridescent bull with glowing orange eyes and smoking nostrils.
Good thing we're not unicorns.
It's Heroes of Might and Magic, Gorgon.
So this one you can't look at, right? You can look at, but he breathes. Is this? Remind me.
Yes.
Please.
That is
Okay,
correct.
so you can look at it, but he breathes.
That's correct.
knew it.
Except for this species looks slightly different than what you studied in school.
Oh gosh, laser eyes.
And you call out. The moments begin to flow. You bring back the little mechanism on the arbalest and you pull. Roll your dice, John. Giving the creature no chance. to move. You fire the massive bolt.
Oh my gosh. 13 on a 14.
Oh my. It hits into its shoulder area, cuts along through some of its scales, and down its side. It's still a powerful blow because you hit. It does 10 dice of damage.
Nice.
Oh.
Because you're in point blank range, it's automatically 2 higher.
10 dice. That's 8 right there. 9, 10. That's 10, 20, 28.
You're just counting 4, 5s, and 6s.
Oh, right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6, so 8 points.
I forgot how this game
And it
works.
blocks only one of the. So it blocks 3 of the. What did you just say?
8.
6.
6, 2. So you get a +2. You
8.
got a 6, so it's an 8.
Yeah.
Man, okay, so that 13 is not actually just a glancing blow, it's a real solid blow. Its armor blocks 2. It rolled and got 1, so it stops 3 of the 8, so it takes a full 5. And remember, everything in this game only has 10 hit points. So you just lodged the bolt deep into its shoulder. It should have been a full-on heart shot. It was going in the right direction.
But it kind of it was already moving by the time that the thing. So it was like trying to figure out what was going on moving forward. So you hit it in the shoulder. You might have even broken it. You're not sure. It was pretty nasty though.
Did you say it was moving?
Oh my god, get out. Leave.
Okay, so the surprise round, Kodrog is firing an arbalist. Narish and Arya are firing their bows.
Oh, Narish is the one that's helping with the arbalist.
So
Remember, it's a two-man job.
2-man job. So
Oh, Arya, don't hit
gets
me.
to shoot her bow while
Don't
she's
hit me,
not
Arya.
looking, and oh, that's a 13, and her skill is a 6. She
So
missed
she
by,
hits me.
She misses by 7.
I don't know if it would be in the way of anything at this point, but it definitely misses a whole bunch of crap, though.
Her arrow flies out, hits on the thing's neck, bounces off its head, spirals up into the air, and lands in the barrel in front of you.
All right.
Someone's gotta teach that girl how to fucking.
Initiative?
Initiative.
Where are my dice?
I usually get really low rolls when I do initiative.
Code,
I got a
Narish.
4.
You did good too.
The one time I needed to roll high and I got a 1.
Kodrog.
5.
It's going on 9. Narish is an 8. The only one going before that is Arya with a 14. And she's got, because she got a 14, she's got 1, 2, 3 attacks. She got 3 actions she can do. But right now her eyes are closed, so she's just going to grab another arrow and just make it happen, right?
Well, no, he did say eyes open,
Oh,
looking at the
good.
ground, remember?
Okay.
I don't know. Would she do that? Or would she try to be really, like jump onto its back and stab it between the shoulder blades like a matador?
Ooh.
That
Because she's got a rapier.
That sounds more like her.
Yeah.
And she knows that the armor is easier to pierce
Mm-hmm.
with her rapier.
Yeah. So she's gonna use her 3 actions to,
She'll run, draw her rapier at the same time,
yep,
leaping
to
off
the
the...
acrobat onto the shoulders and then just leave it buried in there and then
All
jump
right,
off.
yeah, I'm good with
I
that.
feel
So
like-
that's an acrobatics check,
Yeah.
and then a rapier check. Since she's going to be right at it, she's going to get a bonus to her skill.
Okay.
And she,
Okay.
that's acrobatics succeeds by 2.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now her attack, her skill is going to go up by 1, so 13. And she got an 11. So she got it by 2. So she takes her rapier and she's going to stab it. Now, because it's a piercing weapon, it's going to ignore the armor the creature has, and she's going to do her 5 dice of damage.
Okay.
1, 2. 2 more points. She will stab into this creature.
And then she's going to leap away because that's the smart thing to do.
All right, roll for the leap away. She's trying to make sure not to get its attention.
Right.
A 13 out of 13. It's going to kick at her.
Yeah, because she's going off on the back. So, yeah.
An 11 out of its 13, so that's a hit.
Okay.
All right. 1, 2. 2 points, and she has no armor on, but she gets to roll her body, which is 3. She stops 2. So she will get kicked, flung into the wall, hit the ground, hit the wall. She's taken no damage.
She's a bit knocked up right now. That's a pretty powerful kick for
All
sure.
right.
Normally you break at least one rib.
All right, that was her action. Its action. It got shot, it got attacked, it kicked. It
Yeah.
knows there's targets nearby.
It does, and it's going to. Let's see. So I imagine. Was there a barrier set up around it?
No, just
was
between them. There's about four barrels,
Ah,
and they're behind. They're
behind. Oh yeah, they're behind it.
Right.
Okay.
Thomas isn't though, right? Like it
No,
has to be.
Thomas is
You're
in a
on-
very
yeah.
safe place.
You're
Not-
closer to the door. Yeah.
yeah. No. So it's going to turn with the arbalist bolt sticking out of its shoulder, like scraping against the barrels as it does so, and then its eyes glow bright orange
Fire.
as fire comes out of it
No!
onto the
That's unhealthy.
to the barrels as it's going to basically fire blast eyeballs
To the
and
barrels
to
and
the
everything
barrels
like that.
and then running through the barrels.
All right, so
to
its first
try to-
attack is going to be aiming to hit both John and Narish behind the barrels. They have cover,
Yep.
so that's gonna make it harder. This is not his primary attack, which
No.
is his gore. So that means it's an 11.
Yep.
No, it's a 10.
It's not even his primary.
10.
Like, snorty.
So hang on, 9 is for cover, and he's hitting 2 people. So we'll bring it down to an 8. If he gets an 8, it means he's hit both of them.
Well, Yeah,
No, that's a 12.
yeah.
He still hits the
He
barrels
hits the barrels,
and sets them on fire.
and then
The ale
and
barrels.
then hits the barrels with his body.
And then he slams into it, which for him is an athletics check. His athletics is a 15.
Oh,
He got a 7, so he beat it by 8.
that was
was
like
that?
my first low roll. No, it
Yeah,
wasn't.
no, it's not. But so we're gonna roll a dice.
Mm-hmm.
John's going to be even,
Okay.
and Narish is odd. It is Narish that gets hit by the charging Gorgon. The barrels are going to absorb some of the damage. The barrel can take up to 10, but it has no protection versus his bludgeoning. So
Good
his-
news is the arbalist was on John.
all right.
Yeah.
His charge does 10 dice of damage.
Yeah, this charge is no joke. It's the barrels do absorb a good amount.
At least, yeah, the barrels will get their body roll. And
See,
1, 2.
Oh, and that was more math.
That's 7. You
7.
need 3 more.
Okay. 3. No,
3, 4,
it's
yeah,
just
that's
5s and
3.
6s.
No, 4, 5s, and 6.
Oh, okay, then yes, 3.
3, the barrel will take the damage. The barrel, it cannot resist bludgeoning damage, automatically takes 1 extra. It's 4. Barrel makes 1 success. So the barrel gets knocked out of the way, they're not destroyed, and then the rest of the blow comes through into Narish. All right, so 10 dice toward Narish.
Oh, I thought that was,
No, that was just-
how it's supposed to.
No,
happen.
it's just seeing if the
I
barrel
don't
gets.
understand combat.
That's fine.
Because wouldn't it be more on the barrel and then less on whatever's after it? Because the barrel absorbs stuff.
I'm pretty sure he didn't just hit the barrel and the barrel hit Narish. I'm sure he's run through
Okay,
the barrels.
That's fine. Like I said, this makes no sense to me. All right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
All right, Narish gets 3 dice
Okay.
from the impact. He knocks off 2, so he's taken 6.
Okay.
All right, the creature hits the wall of barrels, knocking the one in the way out of the way, hitting Narish and trampling Narish as he comes through. Narish is on the ground.
Yeah.
He is still moving though, and trying to roll the hell out of the way.
Who is?
Narish,
Oh, yeah.
because like there's a big metal bull crunching his stuff, and it is now his turn.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
Stab its
right?
gut
Yep.
while you're rolling. Just
Okay, so he's getting up. All right, so he's got 2 actions. That's his get away.
Yeah, that's his getaway.
Okay.
And his get up or get more
There's no
away.
there's no get up. There's no get away.
It's just more get away.
Yeah, it's either more get away or try to find some some way to get around. So he doesn't have to roll for this action. He just wants to get around to the other side of Kodrog because he's still got the tackle with him to
Yeah.
reload the arbalist.
Yep.
And now it is Kodrog's turn. The Gorgon creature is 2 foot from you, and its attention is now being drawn onto you.
Oh gosh. So I don't have the loading crank for the arbalist.
No.
No, well, you do have it very close by because Narish just rolled right next to you with it.
Okay. What realistically can I do that involves the arbalist? Like grab the crank and then put it on and start loading it?
No.
No.
Grab the crank, put it on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Next
that's my full
round,
turn.
That would be it. And
Or
then next,
you could take the arbalist bolt and stab it, or use an axe, or
I would
use a stabby thing.
go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Can I use the bludgeoning end of my dwarven maul axe to hammer the arbalist bolt further into his side?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, you can. It's going to be a difficult shot, so your skill's going to come down by 2 because you want to hit it at the right degree to make it go in farther.
Okay.
Ouch.
Oh man. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 on a 12.
Woo!
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Because you're basically piercing deeper in, you're going to ignore the armor and you do your hammer's damage without
Alright.
it getting the armor for protection.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
It has 3 points
66.
left, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
That's,
Thomas might not have to do anything.
yeah, he's just watching this.
saving all your mana for the getaway.
Right?
yeah.
Okay,
Three of
so
my
that's 1, 2, 3.
Okay,
Yeah.
3, and so it's going to roll its bod. It got 1, so it actually took 2. It is at 9 of 10. It has 1 hit point left. But you do drive it in.
Oh,
Man,
and it hates it.
it hates it so much. Thomas, there is a flurry of crap going on over there. What do you want to do?
I have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, it's a spell that isn't written down. I don't think.
If it's not written down, don't worry about it. Find something else.
Yeah, I know.
Fireball.
Never casting fireball. That's so cliche.
Good, thank you.
There's nothing wrong with the well-placed fireball. Just saying.
Can I? Yeah. Okay. Sure. Give me a second. I'm trying to think of like the only thing that I could think of is like a wind spell of some sort.
It is the best spell, Eric. I agree with this.
I mean, yeah, you know, like you said, Cassie, there's nothing wrong with a well-placed fireball. There's also no such thing as a well-placed fireball.
I don't know. It's the well-placed fireball is when it's the outer edge of its reach is just beyond you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would like to cast controlled air,
Okay.
and hopefully this will work. Because basically, it sounds what it is. I can control the air. I'd like to form a suction vacuum around that spear that's in his shoulder, so it pierces through him towards, like, basically force pulling it through, but with air.
So like, I guess like my only thing is like there would have to be air already in there to force the vacuum, right?
So you're trying to use like a vacuum to cause the arrow to go farther in.
Mm-hmm.
I want it to go through him, but yes. If not, then I'll choose a different spell.
I think a different
Because it's
Yeah.
very situational. Let me look at my list.
I mean, you do want to, like, you know, just to have a reminder, it's going to be going essentially before the two other
Oh.
melee people
I know what to
that
do.
are right there
Throw a
what to
rock.
in breathing distance.
I know we have it, I just can't find it because we've talked about permanently, like, forming the ground. I'd like to form a spiky spear underneath it to stab it up in its gut, please.
Okay. Basically a lance to come out from under the ground.
Yeah,
Sure.
Nice.
All right.
I will roll then. And thankfully, that's arcane.
Yes, that is definitely an arcane spell.
2. 2.
If this doesn't work, just walk up and punch it in the face.
10 out of 18, or rather 17, I think. No,
Okay.
18. 'cause
Not
it's
a
got plus
problem.
2 on it.
Really great roll. Get an extra dice. The spell's going to do. Let's see. How much mana are you putting into it?
I'll put 2. So I'll have 1
that's-
mana left.
4, 7, 8. Roll 8 dice of damage.
Great. Okay.
It's piercing, so it ignores the armor.
Okay, got 1. 6. 7, 8. Okay, got 3.
John Kodrog's there as go ahead and it's
Yeah.
got to roll against the 3. It got 2 out of 3, so it takes 1.
That's all I needed, right?
That's
right,
all
though?
it needed.
Yes.
Because if it had gotten
3 out of 3, then it would have just ignored the whole
yeah,
wound.
Yeah.
it would have been like, oh, it's a toothpick.
Um,
You stabbed me with it.
so this is how, as it turns to look to you, it's the air around its eyes is flickering from fire, begins gazing directed towards you. Its mouth begins oozing out its smoke. You pull back, trying to get ready for the next round. Stone begins shoring up underneath it like a pillar, and then comes to a point and begins ramming into its underside quickly, which for the most part just breaks apart the metallic hide and heaviness of this creature. But at some point, a bit of rocks, as it's being hit, the creature stumbling with it, come out the back end of it and come to a stop with blood all over it.
Yeah, and and it gives a very like a sighing snort and a cloud of, you know, stone creating gas kind of just comes out and dissipates.
I
was gonna say, don't bring
pull
that
some
in.
cloth up over my face and like stumble backwards.
Okay, make
Its
your
last breath, it will make you into stone.
dodge roll. All right,
gosh.
and while that was happening, Thomas, you were doing like this repetitively as you're like dragging up all the mana to cause the earth to surge up.
Narish was able to keep out of the way.
Yeah. Tumble, duck, roll, dodge, jump. Arya, stop shooting.
Oh, right. Okay.
Stop shooting the stone.
Is it just athletics that I roll for dodging, or is it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, can I use acrobatics instead?
Yes.
Backflip.
Well, either way, I did not do well. That's 10 on a 7.
Ooh.
All right, make your toughness save.
Okay. Okay, so the number means is the number of dice I roll.
No, you add 8
No.
to the number, and that's what you have to roll equal to or less than.
Oh, okay, so I'm trying to beat a 10.
That dwarven constitution.
That's 4, 8, 9.
You feel the tip of your nose going just ever so slightly dull
No.
as you like lean. You can't roll because you've got barrels behind you, so you keep leaning further and further back, like until.
Oh no, am I gonna be Codrug Stone Nose now?
I
That
don't
can
know.
be
You won't
fixed.
know for sure until you see a mirror. Huh?
The green cube finishes de-energizing. The now very apparent man slumps down onto the pedestal. Looks like he's wet, like moisture, like his whole body is.
Like he was kept in a stasis pod.
Yeah. And the
Gross.
ring continues to hover for a moment or two before it ascends to the ceiling. The pedestal glows, the energy dissipates, the room is not as bright in the magical world. Thomas, through the destruction or the release of this, you were able to receive back a mana.
Yay!
The spell, the magic filled the room, and you were able to just kind of like take a moment and be like, yes.
Thank God. I have 2.
So we are going to take our break with a dead Gorgon, a couple of beat up fighters, and a slumped over young man covered in goo. And we'll be right
That kind of guy.
See y'all in a little bit.
Whew.
Welcome back, everyone.
What's up?
It's hoods up time. Good job, everyone.
I mean, John actually looks like Kodrak now, though.
Yeah.
This is so large. The hood to my cape can be moved over, like rolled up like 3 or 4 times.
That's a lot.
I know.
Yeah, I can disappear in this thing.
Watch this.
I
There we
have
go.
a hood like that in one of my things. I don't have a hood, but I have a sandwich
And a hat.
and a hat.
Bow, bow, bow.
We're in Florida. We're prepared for
Yep.
Florida winter with our capes
Yep, because Florida's cold
right now.
right now.
hmm
60-degree weather. I'd be in shorts and a t-shirt.
It's
It's
50.
50 outside.
It's about to be 40s. It's gonna be chilly. Chilly,
I thought so.
chilly.
Hi, kitty cat.
So,
Yes.
last we left 10 minutes ago, you all successfully managed to kill a summoned Gorgon
Yeah.
and released this young man
Young.
from captivity.
Young?
Black hair. Human.
How young we talking?
Well, I'm just trying to figure. Like,
He's not a child,
he's not a child, but he's still a teenager.
but he ain't got no crow's feet.
Yeah.
He's a strapping lad.
He's old enough to be a man
Mm-hmm.
in that sense. So, let's say about 15, 14. What do you think?
14's too young. Like 16, 17.
All right, so we'll say 15.
I'll say 16.
15 and a half. Final offer.
We'll say 16.
You can see I don't have any.
Does he have blue eyes?
You haven't opened them yet.
He
And
has-
neither
Oh,
does
he's
he.
unconscious?
No, he's starting to move.
Yes.
Sliding
Ah,
around
so-
on that pedestal.
Yeah, Thomas will walk over and like gently put a hand on his shoulder and like try helping him.
Okay.
I'm gonna be pulling out my most brightly polished dagger, trying to check out the tip of my nose to see if it is as cold stone as it feels numb right now.
It's not.
Oh,
It's
okay.
got a little bit of a grayish tinge, but you think that's gonna go away. It still feels like skin. It doesn't feel like stone when you rub your nose.
Yeah, it moves like skin would move.
It should be
Okay.
It should be okay. You hope it'll be okay. At least your beard's not stone.
Oh, yeah, that would make it hard to brush.
Yeah.
Or be found in public with
Mm.
other people.
Yeah.
The young man looks up starts to get up a little bit, and is his eyes blue? I do believe his eyes were blue. His eyes are blue. He has blue eyes. They open, and in Dwarvish, he looks to you and says, I'm sorry, don't trap me in there.
Don't.
I'm not going to. You were, though. Do you know where you are?
Yes. Yes. He begins looking around at all of you. Who are you? Where are my parents?
Does he
What's
look like
going on?
Roagon?
What's that?
Does he look like Roagon?
From the pictures, there's similarities.
This is
The-
his son.
Well, before who we are, who are you? So that we might know how to advise on your parents.
My name is Reese.
Thomas kind of tilts his head and he looks at certain features and he goes, "Your father is Roagon, correct?"
Yes.
I thought
Yes,
so.
my father. And at this point, he's trying to get up. It's a bit slippery,
Yeah.
but he can slide off. You can see
Thomas
he's
will help
wearing
him.
he's wearing a type of gilded and crested banded armor that has been. It's kind of fancy, John. somebody dropped some pretty coins to make this armor look this nice, and it looks pretty effective too. And it's like a full body suit. So you can imagine why the two guys were like in here trying to pry around. He also has like rings on his hands. So he's got jewelry on. He's not a poor kid. And he's going to, he has a sword on his side. What do you think he would have? A short sword, maybe something?
Probably,
maybe
yeah.
A long sword, something like a normal cutting sword. So he's got a long sword with him, so he's got a weapon, he's armed. So he might be trained in the martial arts, but he will slide off of the pedestal and shakily stand and start heading for the door.
Oh, Thomas, like, when he's like trying to like stand, Thomas will like put out his like forearms, so like he can grasp his forearms to stand.
Yeah.
But Thomas will kind of like hold him a bit and be like, hold on. Don't go running off. Reese, why were you locked up like that?
Something happened, and some of my dad's people, my father, some of my father's men, they grabbed me and dragged me in there. They were saying, me first. I gotta find my dad, and he's not stopped. You can see maybe the spell, he's been in there for a little bit, he's enfeebled, but he is moving in that direction. And
Thomas will speak up.
Yeah.
Thomas will speak up and try getting his attention a bit.
Yeah, and me and Narish will like human wall the door. So.
No, well, I don't think Narish would human wall. Narish would actually go over and like put his arm through under to keep this poor slippery kid on his feet.
When you like begin moving toward the door, you can see Narish has concern on his face, and you can see he's bothered or upset.
Yeah. Thomas just speaks out and he goes, "It was a fight, wasn't it? There were barbarians here, or at least on the shore."
The barbarians weren't here. These were my father's men. Beloved soldiers that he hired and trained, and they lived with us.
Reese, do you remember what year it is?
He stares at you in befuddlement. There are some places where there is no such thing as a calendar or a year. So, although in Marseille they have a date, not everything has a date.
Yeah.
Well, he goes, I don't understand. And Kodrog, so you're standing in the doorway, and the kid gets to it close enough. He's like, please, move.
You might as well let him, Kodrog.
So
There
I'll
isn't words that can describe what happened.
no, but you can't just barrel forward without a plan. You're
Especially
safe
not with
here.
those wolves running around. I say we follow him.
Gather your strength. Like, let's talk some. And
He might.
if we can't help you on your way, then
Narish will say he might perk up if he had some brew. Wink.
I will slap you on the shoulder and grab the new ale mug. What's your preference, Reese?
My father only lets me drink wine and grog.
Give him ale.
Yeah.
Thomas just says.
Yeah, I'll find like the strong dwarf ale and I'll ask for that one and I'll hand it.
So you slam it against the stones and it begins to fill up with the beverage of choice.
There you go. That should be a fine stout one. It'll fill your belly.
As he drinks, he looks up from the first sip. Who are you? Looking to the group.
Well, I'm Kodrog. Gosh, what's my new title now?
Sailmaster.
Sailmaster.
Oh, that's right. I'm Sailmaster. sailmaster on the Amber Falls, captained by Captain Harris. Name?
Captain Harris.
Yeah. Wow. And this is our
So he looks over and Thomas is taking a break, shoving a big old piece of sandwich.
I use a lot of mana. Give me a break.
yeah, this is our ship's wizard, Master Thomas.
Thomas
these
will give
are-
a bow a bit.
And these are our comrades, Naresh and Arya.
Why don't we take him to the rec room where he can sit down and perhaps sit away from this
Not be near a giant dead gorgon. I agree.
gore.
Oh yeah, an excellent idea.
Gorgon. Gore.
I'm going to.
And perhaps there we can all have a drink.
Excellent.
What are you doing, Etsia? I'm gonna get empty some flasks and cut up some of this gorgon and take its blood because
So you're hanging back to do the
I'll be like,
wizardly
"Hold on, I
thing.
gotta go. I gotta clean up a little bit. I'll catch up with you guys. Don't worry about me. I'll be
You see-
fine.
this is like
I
a
gotta
lot of
collect some
material that's gonna go to
components.
waste. I'm not gonna.
So yeah, you guys you tell them to go ahead. You see Thomas pull out a very small razor sharp knife and begin prying off metal plates. Yeah, this is all about science here.
It's like it's an obsidian knife, so it really gets
Oh
under
yeah,
there.
it's nice and sharp. Fillet some skin.
I mean, imagine how rare a Gorgon gallbladder is.
It's true.
I could brew some shit in that.
What are you doing?
Yeah, so
Bernie, come.
we'll leave Thomas and get the party started. We gotta celebrate this guy's
Bernie,
release
crate,
from captivity.
crate. If you're gonna go rooting around, go to your crate.
I will handle
You got
this.
it. That little dude decided I'm going to go adventure in a place I'm not supposed to be. Thomas,
Gorgon's a little-
so imagining that this creature probably weighs about 2,500 pounds worth of muscle and meat and metal and stuff like that. Kind of make a generalized list of the things that you're interested in. We're going to move over to the rec room.
Go for it.
Through
Thomas will be there shortly.
Through the drinks, the young man informs you that his father, Roagon, master of this place, with his ally Zelagar, were preparing to go dispense with some barbarians that were supposed to be coming to the Isle. Barbarians used to rule this land. When the two of them showed up, they dispatched the barbarians and brought peace to the area. Well, the barbarians' tribes have been rallying back up. And he got woke up in the middle of the night by a bunch of his father's men and dragged away. Treason, basically.
Was it though?
Shrug. He calls it that. Well, yeah, they worked for my father. They were loyal to him.
Perhaps they were trying to keep you safe from some terrifying enemy. The ghouls were quite terrifying.
Yeah, certainly there have been some things that we've encountered that I would rather be locked away safe to face alone.
What was their mannerisms? And Thomas comes in and he's like wiping off blood off his hands.
Prestidigitate away.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just
You just wrote them together and it all disappears.
yeah.
They were I can't recall too well.
Were they harsh in any way?
They were quick about it.
They were probably protecting you.
But my dad, and at this point he having a bit more courage in him, starts heading for the main door out of the rec room. The one you guys came through where all the stuff is piled outside.
So I'll jump up and be like, wait, your dad. Where do you think you'll find him if you go running out right now?
In his room? in his safe house. He has a secret. There are secrets all throughout here that... and a place for him to hide. If he would be here, he'd be there. Or maybe a node. Or something.
Okay.
Reese,
Okay.
before we run off and hunt Rogan down, we should probably tell you why we're here.
Yeah. Why are you in my dad's house?
Father.
Can't do that. I can't. I don't know why it doesn't work for me.
I want to see my father.
Why are you in my father's stronghold? There we go.
Paige is not smart, but Thomas is. Isn't it pretty much we gotta collect Rogan because he's this cool dude that did things, and the king was like, he's going crazy because now he's young and handsome and supple, and and then the queen or the princesses were like, this is bad because these people are like giving our dad fruit of life, and
Father.
yeah. Is that it? Is that pretty much it in Paige speak?
Yes.
Close. Roagon was part of this
Republic of Porthian.
this country,
Porthian.
and then he left it, and so he is knowledgeable about their ways.
And so
Yeah.
the princess would like to know more about these people and what their intentions might be, as far as what they want in return from what they've provided by to her
And
father.
Okay.
two, her father believes the words that come out of people's mouth directly. So if
Yeah.
you came up and said, yeah, I talked to a guy once, I talked to a guy, he's not going to believe you. If you,
Oh, yeah.
but whatever words that you experienced, he has a better chance. He will
Yeah.
believe better.
We need to hire your father's testimony.
Exactly.
Pretty much, yeah. Thomas kind of adjusts a bit, and do you know who King Kadaf is, or Princess Amber?
He will shake his head and no. And he also returned to his seat to drink some more.
Do you know what a king is?
He will shake his head, yes. The
Okay.
ruler of land.
King Kadaf is ruling this land currently. It seems that you've been asleep for quite some time now, and we're in search for your father Roagon, mainly because he has information of the Porthian.
Side note, actually, Kadaf has no control over this territory. This is outside Kadaf's territory. You guys are out, nobody actually owns this territory. Nobody's
Oh,
put a
okay.
flag in it
Well, Thomas will correct himself.
yet. Fair enough.
Um,
Yeah.
But that's on Paige's part. He has information that could be useful to us. We're not going to drag him away, but we are going to try convincing him to join us. It's very important.
At least temporarily, right?
Yeah. But we can always bring him back here if he would like to clean up his own castle.
I'm sure Princess Amber would love to have a chat with him as well.
He'll give a nod. Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm sure my father will be more than excited for the chance to meet dignitaries and whatnot. And dignitaries and royals, but we need to find him. I think I'm strong enough. I don't want to drink anymore. I'm starting to feel very not okay in the head.
Well, wait. Before we go, there are no paintings or depictions of your mother. Is she
Nor you.
out of the picture?
He looks to his mug and right. He just shakes his head. I know not of my mother. Oh, that's a better way of saying it. I cannot. He says I cannot speak about my mother.
Why is that?
I'll let you. You're rolling better with it. That way
Yeah,
you're not
yeah.
constantly breathing in my ear.
He shakes his head again. He's like, I appreciate your curiosity, but there are some things that I am not allowed to tell.
It's understandable.
Well, it seems that at least for the time, it would benefit us all to be allies, since we all seek your father.
Yeah, he will nod, and
And you clearly have a better understanding of the layout than we do.
I should hope so. I grew up here.
Well,
And he does give like a small smile at that tiny bit of sarcasm.
yeah. No, I raised my glass to his sarcasm. Well, we'll follow you then, young master.
And so he'll stand up and he nods and follow me. And so he will move.
They're here.
Yeah, they're here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, not there. Yeah, that's right. So they'll move out of the rec room,
Past the pile
past
of goods.
the pile of goods to the left, following the carpeted hallway once again.
So as we're going back the way we came, we should move all of the stuff from outside one door to
the
like
next.
along the way.
Well, you're not actually heading towards the exit. You remember
Okay.
when you got to the rec room, there was a
Oh wow.
wow.
Happy cats.
He's following the carpet along
Yeah.
deeper into the place.
Deeper into the place.
Oh, okay, good.
Sorry, that was.
No, it's okay. I just don't want to leave. I don't want to leave any stuff back down a side passageway that we don't have to go down. Yeah. Wow, happy cats again.
Yeah.
So,
We are sending in a rescue team to resolve the issue with the cats.
while Cassie arranges them, so I'm gonna let the boy and Nourish and Arya like lead the way and hold Thomas back a little bit.
Yeah.
And so perhaps Princess Amber might take a liking to Roagon, and he can help bring down her father from the throne. He obviously has experience gathering armies and
Perhaps.
training them.
The way you said that made it sound like more of a marriage proposal, not an alliance.
Well, a marriage alliance, you know.
The other thing is that you have to take into consideration this is a boy who just woke up and doesn't know what's going on. He's also that. He's just a boy. He's, what, 16, 15? 15 and a half?
Right, but perhaps his father is still, you know, like young and strapping enough to appeal to the princess.
This conversation is being had away from the boy.
Okay.
Possibly. I don't know. I wouldn't jump too hard into it just yet.
I mean, if he's single, he's single. Let's be a good
I mean,
thing.
he's probably, unless his princess is locked up in another crystal like Princess Zelda, then, you know. But
There's another Janetless cube somewhere.
Thomas, at the end of the day, he basically just goes, I agree. I just think we should at least get him comfortable. I'm more worried that we're going to find Roagon dead and have to deal with someone grieving.
Okay, well, I'll stop counting the princess's ducks then.
You arrive in a throne room. To the description. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na.
But there's more than one princess. I don't know which one they were talking about.
I know, right?
But there
They're
were
talking
two.
about the one that's in her 30s or the one that is in her teens?
30s. We're hoping that she'll see reason and marry somebody strong enough to help depose her father if necessary.
Yeah.
Ah.
Which is a good thing.
I don't wanna
It
do
is.
this
It's
part.
definitely for the
No.
betterment of mankind.
The room consists
I'm a
of two
romantic,
great
I-
chairs on raised stone platforms overlooking a rectangular court. The court is flanked on each side by a set of 4 large stone pillars. The area is reminiscent of a ballroom of small size, although it is impossible to know that the room's actual purpose. That's the lie. It's a damn throne room. Who would you put that in the text? Sorry. The floor is smooth slate, while the pillars and raised platforms seem to be constructed of great blocks of red granite. The 2 chairs are sculpted from gigantic blocks of white marble due to their bulk and weight for the... Oh, skip that part. Great draperies in alternating panels of yellow and purple hang on the wall behind the raised platform. There are no They are of no unusual value. And they add a considerable bit of appearance to this room.
Makes
Wow.
it so fancy.
So fancy.
So they're
Well, these-
expensive and fancy.
I was gonna say these draperies have to be like fucking tattered as hell now, right?
No, they haven't seen a lot of weather. There's not a lot of wind, rain, and things coming in here and damaging them. So they're fine. I mean,
Yeah.
No moths, just cobwebs.
yeah, just cobwebs.
Dusty.
Yup. The throne has signs that it has been pilfered in the sense that there are spots in which gems or something might have been encrusted into them, but that's gone.
Are there any monograms on those thrones?
Yes, there are monograms on the throne. Can anyone guess what is on the left and the right throne?
I'm gonna say R and
An
Z.
R and a Z.
Bingo!
Big old fat R and a Z.
Like, man, like wifey doesn't even get a throne. Fucking
I'm
Zelagon
thinking
does.
that magic was involved, where Rogan and Zoltar, or whatever his name is, had a kid.
I was a Superman bad guy.
Zoltar's also like the fucking come and let me tell you your fortune guy.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. Okay. All right. So, he travels through the throne room and then goes to one of the hanging tapestries, drapes, and pushes it back and steps behind it. And,
This is very Legend of Zelda.
an audible sound can be heard of stone and wood sliding and moving.
Oh, I'm gonna follow him and pull back the tapestry.
There's a
and see what's
hallway
going on.
there. The section of the wall has been moved. A short, straight hallway opens into.
25.
Yep. The curving walls of this room are immediately noticeable as different from all others in the stronghold, not only due to their layout, but also because of their coverings. The walls are covered with vertical strips of rough finished fir wood, and these narrow planks run a single piece from floor to ceiling. The construction is not remarkable, nor is it fancy in any respects, but the result is strikingly pleasing to the eye. In each of the four curved corners of the room is a different wall hanging. These tapestries are about 6 feet wide and 8 feet high. The four subjects depict a dragon being slain by a group of warriors, with one of them standing prominently in front of the group, which has a familiar shield and sword, and so on and so forth, thrusting the killing blow into the dragon's neck, and lots of blood shooting out. He really looked at the guy. I want you to sew a carpet, and this is what it's going to look, and the blood's going to be spurting out. He wanted that.
It's like embroidered.
Is it just of a human knight?
Yeah, there's other warriors there. They're standing nearby with pikes, and then and he's slaying the
It's
dragon.
like a boar hunt, but with dragons.
Right.
Yep.
Thomas just mutters under his breath and he goes, "Man, the wizard did not get a lot of attention, did
No,
he?"
wait. The next corner, a great battle in a mountain pass with a small band of fighters being led by a great wizard and
Hey,
a
there we
single
are.
hero in the same familiar plate sword kind of setup on horseback, leading the charge. So it's like he's out front, the wizard's slightly behind, and then there's a group
Yeah,
of-
even then, Thomas is like, "Well, at least he's in the painting." Like, at least he's there.
Still gets more representation than the poor mom.
The
Yeah.
next one actually is slightly different as well, brings out a different point of view. A warrior and an elf woman on horseback
Hey.
against a backdrop of a mountain, holding hands with a joyful expression and a depiction of a hero. Oh, yeah, that's it on that one, a joyful expression. So it's down this man
Yes. Oh.
and an elf.
And that's why you
All
can't
right.
talk about his mom.
So, I want to bring about some very important information. In the Shattered Isles, evolution is kind of important when I decide how things look. There is no cold climate, save for Marseille. Then that's not so true. So, most of the people
50s.
that is human are brown and red skinned. I got some artwork on my website you can look at. Elves in the Shattered Isles are brown-skinned and black-skinned. There are no pasty white European elves running around. So in this picture, there's a best description, an Arabic-looking man and a black female elf holding hands on a mountainscape. So if you want to have an imagination about what it's going to kind of like to kind of embody it, that's what you got.
It's a lot of radiation floating about.
Yeah,
in the
tons
Shattered
of
Isles.
it. Tons of it. And so they, only those people who tend to stay inside with books and not go outside and put on tons of skin lotion, sunscreen and stuff. Mercedes.
See, I see that I've been cornered.
Don't worry, dwarves are naturally white too because they stay inside for the
Yeah.
most part, and they're more ancestry too. Anyways,
Their iron homes have UV shielding.
pretty much. Evolution sticks in with the race creation. Anyways, and the last picture depicts a hero and a wizard joining in a firm hand clasp on a deserted hilltop with only the sunset in the background. An army raising swords around them, pointing up the hillside toward them, and then a dead army surrounding the outside of those. So it's basically the wizard and the warrior on a hillside going, "Hello," surrounded by their men who are saluting them with swords, and outside that, a bunch of dead people. So
Thomas looks at Kodrog and just goes, "Do you ever think that we're gonna be that famous?"
Oh, we're gonna be more famous.
okay,
We'll actually own the isle that our castle.
The rest of the description: on the west wall is a bed which is made of maple with feathered mattress. The baseboard has an engraving of the letter R on it, but the bed is otherwise devoid of particular details. A freestanding cabinet, wood matching the bed alongside of it, a wooden stool near the cabinet, and a desk with a roll top and papers on it. And then last but not least, there is an armor stand with no armor on it.
Ooh.
It's either being worn or it was pilfered.
Warner
Yeah.
Pifford.
It doesn't really look like anything in here has been moved.
Yeah, the bed's still
there's
made.
The bed's made. There's a thin layer of dust over the flat surfaces, so perhaps at least the pilferers have not found this room yet.
They're too dumb to look behind the curtains, apparently.
There's
That's a trick. That's really tricky. Not too many people can figure that one out.
Yeah.
It's true, I guess.
All right. The boy is going to take action and immediately head over to the roll top desk. What do you guys want to do? Okay, we'll start with Kodrog. What does Kodrog want to do?
I'm gonna just search around for other secret things now that I know that we're already in a secret place. There's probably even more secret hiding places in here. Oh man, 6 on a awareness of 14.
Jesus Christ. So after watching the boy pull the curtain back and everything, you guys are walking around looking at him, and Thomas is, oh man, the wizard this, the wizard that. You lean over, look behind it. You go to the next one, Thomas says, oh man, the wizard this, wizard that. You lean over, look behind it. You get over the one where it's the dude and the chick standing on the hillside. You lean over, look behind it. You're like, yeah, I'll wait till Thomas is finished. You go to the fourth picture and Thomas is looking at you, look behind that. Nope. So you go back over to the one with the dude and the chick. And there's a door behind there. I mean, the dwarven craftsmanship on this is outstanding. Now you realize why people aren't finding it. These are dwarven secret doors.
Oh man.
Worked into the stonework, it is a perfect fine hairline fracture that symbolizes that there's the door there.
Yeah, so I'm gonna like run my fingers along the edge of the door
Okay.
and then try and like open it.
All right. Thomas, what do you want to do?
Do I notice Kodrog doing this?
You're mostly paying attention to the paintings at this point in time. So you look over, you see Kodrog. He walks back over to the one with the elf and the dude, and then he walks behind it.
Thomas
And then you
just
hear the
walks
sound
over.
of stone on wood.
Yeah, Thomas will check that out and like move the curtain or whatever. And
not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, like so. That's like a.
Yeah, right now he's busy.
Well, no, that's like a no, in there.
Got it. Do that. All right. Kodrog, you get the door open.
And you hear from behind the curtain. You're like, wait, don't go in there yet. Please don't go in there. We need to look in here first.
Of course, I wasn't gonna move ahead. I was just curious.
The hallway in front of you is dimly lit, and even though you guys have light with you, you squint just slightly in the darkness, and you think you can make out what looks like bedroom furniture. Is that a bed in there? God, you hope that's not a mimic. That would be a big-ass mimic.
Okay.
That's where the wife was.
All right, Thomas, do you want to interject?
No, we put Grace in charge, so I think Thomas will just keep that place in mind and then come back to the side of Reese and check out what he's been doing.
He's trying to get the roll top open. He's got the pieces of paper and he's sorting through it, and you see him struggling to read through the letters and the pieces of paper. You see him looking really hard. You've seen somebody who's a poor reader. You're an excellent reader because of your experience and training, and he is like looking at one letter at a time, trying to read through this stuff.
Reese, do you want me to read that for you?
No, I can read. And he's still plodding through it.
I'm guessing you didn't, Never mind. You're not of noble birth. It's common for you to read slowly. I can read that for you. I'm really good at reading, and it's honestly, it's kind of painful to watch you trudge through this.
Okay, he just puts it down. You can see there's tears in his eyes at this point in time, and he's
oh shit! I'm sorry.
He says, "Can you just tell me what it says?"
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Okay, yeah. Thomas, fix it up.
and Nerys is over there biting his knuckles like, oh.
Yeah.
Because the poor kid has no link to his family at this point in time, and these pieces of paper might be it.
Yeah.
And his one skill to know what they say is like at level 0. Like he has some half-ass to it.
And Arya's like over there, just like next to Narish, and she's just like kind of like rubbing his back, and she's like, "It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay."
Yeah, Thomas is pretty much doing the same thing with Reese. After he kind of realizes that it's not what he said. It's mainly just like, this is more important. And he basically just rubs his back and he goes, "Hey, I'm gonna read this and we'll figure it out, okay?" And he'll start poring over the papers and start reading them.
Yeah, what Radio pointed out. The second one more than anything.
You're poor and therefore uneducated.
It wasn't even noble, it was just rich.
As you're looking, the first one talks about
was.
spy information, from someone saying, "To my lord, it is affirmed the barbarians have ships, and rumors are spread. I got here as quickly as I possibly could. They should be following shortly. The barbarians are coming. You must prepare," is the first one you come across. Another one you come across is, "This is how many swords I got. This is the people who are trained. These who know how to use a pike. These are the people who can do this. I need to make sure that my sergeants," and it's talking about military information, and it's a catalog of skills. You find, as you easily use some magic to pop open the roll top, find where he stuffs all his to-do list, as that all the mail and whatnot pour out, and you begin sorting through a variety of letters, pieces of maps of this island and stuff like that. Even some that look like some sort of descriptive, like, mapping of local ruins that, oh yeah, Larry wanted to go check those out.
Fucking Larry.
Maybe he made it.
Larry loves ruins.
Tuck that map away. Do you want to save that for later? Maybe give it to Larry? All right.
I'll keep it.
You begin going through, and it's a lot of data and information about his military. There's a lot of training books in here, too, about the martial arts and martial training and weapons and armor. So this guy has his little personal stash here, as well as you find a stiletto.
Like the knife or the heels?
The knife.
Okay.
He's got
My
one
brain
stiletto.
immediately went to heels, and I was like, "Was his dad go Rowan,
No,
but all right."
Yeah, that's fine. It's just, no, it's a stiletto knife.
Okay. Thomas will read them out loud, so the kid can hear it.
As you begin sorting through it, the only thing that's worthwhile you find is that the letter saying the